Or like Mitchell, or you can be like Reynolds and Skepful. Give it a Johnston and you'll get triple. Pass it to Cleary, you know he'll run the pitch. Score points like Jaboyevich, I'm game day fit, no need to switch. Cooking up like Cookie Man's in the kitchen. Who's that on the wing? It's Sivo. Score, try and do the Guffrino. Don't get too rowdy or too keen or you'll end up like Hassan Tino. Get a 40-20 like DCE. Run the ball like hectic cheese. Support runner, that's Pappenhausen, but I still got Teddy at the SCG.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Final Siren podcast. It's good to be back. It's been a little while. I feel like we've said that the last few times, but obviously school coming back, personal commitments, we've had it all of recent, but the NRL season is back. Well, it's near, but the preseason trials are here, and honestly, the first week, there were some big scores, there was some draws, and obviously some really nice games. So we'll be looking at those today. Boys, thanks for joining. As always. Sadly, Davos couldn't be here today, but that's all right. We'll make do with what we have, and we'll start off with talking about the preseason week 1 results. We'll start with the first game of the preseason, Warriors versus Tigers. Faraz, would you like to start us off and just give your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I didn't catch this one because I was watching the test match between Australia and India, but look, man, looking from the Warriors, they're probably going to be a harder side to beat at home. I've got to say, Marcel and Montoya turned it on, scoring a hat-trick. I think that was him, right? But yeah, I think for the Tigers, one to look out for is Stefano at prop. I think that if you're looking for fantasy points and whatnot, I think he's your man. But other than that, I'm not really going to comment too much because I didn't see it myself.
Yep, that's fair. Lachlan, what did you make of that game?
For me, I don't think being a Tigers fan, not that I'm a Tigers fan, but for Tigers fans, they shouldn't look into it too much. I mean, it's the first game of the season. They had heaps of their stars out still. I thought Charlie Staines was a bit quiet still. Ken Mamalo had a great game. He scored a hat-trick. But for the Warriors, I think the man to watch is Luke Medcalf. The kid at 6, he can play footy. I think he's got to fit in somewhere into that team. I don't know where that is. But if he can't fit, he's a handy backup to have. And I think Tamari Martin was pretty good as well when he was on the field. Other than that, there wasn't really that many that stood out.
Yeah. For me, I actually did watch this game. It didn't have my full attention. Usually the first game of rugby league being back, everyone's obviously so excited. But I was too busy watching Todd Murphy absolutely tear up the Indians. Sadly, our batsman couldn't do the same. But but I did watch the majority of this game in between the test match. It was actually close for majority of it. I think if you look, before the Warriors went on a run at the end, I think at one stage it was like 28-0, and then the Tigers scored 2 quick tries, or it might have been 24-0 or something. And it looks like the Tigers were going to mount a comeback.
Was Papali'i playing or anything like that? Like Appy, were they playing in this game?
No, they had no players. But like Faraz said, Stefano Utoikamanu definitely stood out for the Tigers in a losing team. He was brilliant. I was really impressed. I'm not sure. He's ended up scoring a try, I think. And I'm not sure how many run meters he had. I might have to take a little gaze at that soon. But it was very impressive to watch from the Tigers. And obviously, once you add Appy back in, Dane Laurie didn't play, Luke Brooks, Adam Dewey, Isaiah Papali'i, David Clemmer, John Bateman. You've got all those players, those really good players who didn't play. So I think once you add them back into that young team, I reckon Tigers will go all right this year. And we'll talk more about that, though, when we end up doing a season preview for each team and a ladder prediction. But we've all talked about that. We'll move on to We'll move on to Sharks versus Knights. I didn't watch this game, so I'm going purely based on the score. But what did you boys make of the game? If you didn't watch it, just what did you make of highlights or anything like that? We'll start with Faraz this time again.
I didn't actually quite catch it, but from the looks of it, like if Tyson Gamble and Jackson Hastings can work together more often, I don't think it's a bad house pairing, honestly. Like Tyson brings that Mongrel and aggression. Hastings allows him to play that free game, and then Tyson absolutely killed it in the first 20 with his running game, scored a try himself. But it's really hard to digest from this, have Newcastle actually improve, because They are taking on the Sharks side that came second last year. I'm not sure if Sharks were playing their full strength team. Maybe you guys can fill me up on that. But
I don't think
from
so.
from what I saw, Hastings and Gabby looked good.
I did watch the game. I thought the Knights were okay. They were still clunky. I think Hastings wasn't at his best for sure. Gamble was the best in the halves. The Scythe Beatty brothers, they were good. But for the Sharks, the one guy that stood out for me, his name is Daniel Atkinson. He played fullback. The kid, I haven't heard of him before that game. And the kid was a freak. He scored a try. He had try assists, about 3 line breaks, something. And he's just freakish around the ball. I think for losing Lachlan Miller, William Kennedy has his off games. I think he's a handy backup to have, and I think we will see him play sometime this season.
Exactly, yeah. And the Sharks, they have very good depth in the fullback position. I know a lot of people are saying since Lachlan Miller's left, that could be a decision they end up regretting. But I think it's also because their second choice fullback, Cade Dykes, I think his name is, got injured. I think he may be out for the season. So this Daniel Atkinson guy, though, definitely
just asking,
he'll be back up.
If William Kennedy was to go down with injury, who would you put at fullback?
Daniel Atkinson, this guy.
Easy.
I'm not really sure who else you could put there, to be completely honest, unless they play Hines at fullback and have to move like Trindle to halfback or something.
Yeah.
But in that case, why would you move the Dally M Player of the Year from the position he won that award in, and halfback of the year last year? So, yeah, doesn't really make sense to me to do that. So I think if we do see William Kennedy get injured, which I'm hoping not, we'll probably see Daniel Atkinson debut. So, but yeah, I agree. I think I watched some highlights. He did seem to have a good game. I think I'm not sure how he may have played the full 80 as well. I think in that Knights versus. Oh, actually, I don't think he would have. He probably only would have played half the game. I think the stats are messed up on the NRL app. But yeah, it was good to see, and I definitely enjoyed the highlights of that. But moving on, for us, we'll go to you first here again. Rabbitohs versus Sea Eagles. Did you watch this game? What did you make of it?
Once again, I didn't actually start watching towards the end of the week, but from what it looked like, it was a high-scoring match, and this game went up and down, topsy-turvy. I think Manly stole at the end. South scored a try at the end as well, but failed to get the kick in. I think for South, I think Blake Tart stood out, scored a try, himself, set that one up beautifully with a kick. Yeah, look, I'm really hard on the fence here to really judge from both sides because Manly didn't have their stars, but South didn't play anyone as well. So, because Manly, they're trying to look for a breakout year from what happened last year with Anthony Seibold, but hard to really judge because I don't really get a good read of these players.
Yeah. And Lachlan, what do you make of Sea Eagles versus Rabbitohs?
Personally, I didn't watch the game, but I think it was the Rabbitohs number 6 or 7. He had a blinder of a game. I've got a feeling it was the 5'8", maybe.
Yeah, I think it's Dion Tupou or something. He reminded me of Cody Walker a bit.
Yeah. When I watched it, he was the one that stood out for me. Other than that, for the Sea Eagles, their fullback, Toby maybe?
Jake Toby. Yeah, Jake Toby. He's a good player.
I thought he was good. Other than that, I really didn't catch much of it.
I'll tell you who was good. Cooper Johns. He's obviously switched from the Storm to the Sea Eagles now. For his debut, well, obviously it's not an official NRL debut, but in his first game in a Manly jumper, he put together, I think he only played 40 minutes or so, and he put together 2 try assists. I think it was quite a few tackle breaks and line break assists. And then completed like 17 tackles with only 1 or 2 missed in that short period of time. He looked in complete control. The try assists he had as well were freakish. One was an over-the-top ball, which complete control straight to the winger. Looked amazing. But, standout player, definitely Jake Toby. He had a good game. I think he ended up racking up it would have been 50 fantasy points if it was in the NRL. 2 tries, 1 try assist with nearly 200 run meters. So, I'm looking forward to seeing. If if Turbo's injured by round 1, I don't think he is. I think he's actually set to return. But if he is injured at the time of round 1, I'll be looking at giving that guy a go. And I mean, they've got Ruben Garrick as well, who can switch to fullback, but it's going to be a tough one. Manly look like they have a lot of good youngsters there, so looking forward to that. Panthers versus Eels, the first game of Saturday. I'll first off just say I didn't watch this. I might as well go ahead and just quickly touch on this one before you guys do. I watched parts of it, but I didn't actually sit there and watch the full game. I think I watched probably 20 minutes or so. I think there was a freakish try though. I remember, Lachlan, you saying that in one of the chats we're in. That was an incredible try, and Josh Hodgson didn't exactly have the game he would have been looking for starting again after his injury. But I mean, we'll just have to see what happens with the Eels this season. Hopefully, Josh Hodgson can find some form because I'm looking forward to seeing him come back to the NRL. Lachlan, I'll go to you next. What were your thoughts on the game?
I mean, it's just the Panthers' depth. It was the baby Panthers, and they pulled through again. I mean, in that club, it's just next man up mentality. Taruva, I think his name is. He's playing in the World Club Challenge as well. That kid they need to hold on to forever. If someone picks him up, he's going to be a huge buy. I think other than that, Kurt Falls played well. Yeah, I didn't really know many of the Panthers players, to be honest, other than the Eels. But I think the Eels are going to be there around there again this year. So they're not. This is nothing to go by. They had nowhere near their team anyway. So we'll see this week that they truly are.
Yeah. Raz, what were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, once again, I did actually catch this one as well, but Panthers, I mean, I know it's just a trial match, but I'm just sitting there every week. I'm just looking at the Panthers. It's just the same old thing. Like, they see to their game plan. It's the next man up mentality. It's just what the Storm and Roosters are before. Look, yeah, I don't really know too much of the players, but Lockie just covered up on one as well. Like, however you pronounce his name, I think he plays hooker. Is that right?
I reckon he's a really good fullback, but he played in the centres on the weekend.
Yeah.
He's played wing for the Panthers as well when he debuted.
Yeah, he's played a few games for the Panthers. Really impressed me. He's got a lot of agility and speed. I don't think Jacob Arthur went that bad, honestly. It's hard to remember these names, but I think Jacob Arthur was the only standalone player I could recognize from that team. So yeah, look, can't really dive this into too much, but the Panthers just being the Panthers at this stage.
Yeah. It was a good game, from what I've seen. At one stage, it looked like it was going to be a blight to the Panthers, and then the Eels sort of brought it back towards the end. They ended up scoring a try with 2 minutes left or something to sort of save themselves from a 12-point loss. But it was a pretty good game, and obviously the Panthers just doing what the Panthers do best, and that's obviously their baby Panthers just completely showing it to the rest of the competition. It was really good to watch, and the Panthers obviously can't take them lightly again this year. Definitely don't want to do that. So let me move on very quickly to the next game, which was the Dragons versus St. Helens. St. Helens getting the upset 30-18. Well, not really an upset, honestly, if you've seen how good St. Helens are in the Super League. What was your thoughts on the game, boys? Lachlan, you can go first again.
I can confirm at this time of the night I was drunk at the club, so I actually didn't watch it. But from what I heard, St. Helens played well to only win by 12 against the Dragons. Pretty good effort by the Dragons by the looks of it. But again, it's only a trial. This isn't for Dragons fans to shake their heads yet. This week we'll see a good indicator on where the clubs are at with their full team. Yeah,
definitely. Faraz, what about you?
Yeah, look, St. Helens. I'm not really a Super League fan, but I know they've won the comp on a 3-peat now. I think that they've achieved the 3-peat if I'm not wrong. Look, the Dragons. I don't think they're going to have a good season this year. They're going to probably be around the bottom. And look, this is a trial match. I understand that, but you look at that lineup, you still had like the likes of Lomax and like by Sully was there, I think. So it was still pretty much like the full strength squad with some players there. So it's a bit disappointing result. Look, I'm not going to bash it because this is just a trial match, but yeah, the horror off season continues, and this result doesn't hold the confidence.
Yeah. Again, this is one where I watched only part of the game. I think when I was watching, St. Helens did look very good. They looked in complete control. Their fullback, Jack Wellesby, did a really good job. And I saw some news there that multiple NRL clubs are interested in looking at signing him. So I'm pretty sure he can play in the halves or at fullback, Jack Wellesby. So he'd be a good pickup. I think he racked up like 200 run meters in the time he was on the field, a try, and I think it was like quite a few tackle breaks as well. So, yeah, 4 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks. So he had an absolute great game. Only had to make 2 tackles and didn't miss any. So, very good game from him, and I'll be looking forward to seeing. Hopefully, he can. As Faraz just dips out now. Hopefully, Wellesby can get a contract in the NRL because I really love the talent this bloke has. So I guess we'll see. But okay, we'll move on to the next game: Storm versus Roosters. Okay, this was a good game, and it was the one I didn't watch again. Lachlan, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, well, it all started off with the Storm. I mean, Justin Owen breaking his forearm. That was a huge kick in the guts. I thought Wishart was pretty good for them. Who else played that I thought was good? Christian Welch was good to see him back on the field after his injury. And for the Roosters, as soon as those star player came in, it was game over. I mean, Brandon Smith, Matt Lodge, Sam Walker. Who else came on? Victor Radley scored a try. The Roosters this year, they're going to be top 4, easy. Yeah. For me, it was a Roosters masterclass, but the score doesn't show that. The Storm definitely push them to the edge.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the score definitely doesn't show that. And I tell you who was really good for the Storm. Their fullback. I don't want to butcher his last name. Fa'alago or something like that.
Yeah.
He scored a try. I think he got 240 odd run meters, 4 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks. So pretty much what Jack Wellesby did, but slightly better. And I think 27 post contact meters. I don't even think he played the full game either. I think he only played half the. Oh no, he would have played. I reckon maybe 60 minutes or so. He did play the full game, but complete dom. He played so well for such a young kid. I'm not sure how old. I think he's like 19 or something, 18 or 19. And to consider he was playing up against like Jake Turpin, who's played first grade, Fletcher Baker, Ben Thomas.
I thought Jake Turpin was actually pretty good.
He was good. He
had some really good moments. I think
Brandon Smith
think with
even
Turpin
came
as well,
on and
I
played.
think now that Connor Watson's gone for at least like 1 to 2 months, I think Turpin's going to come on that like utility role. I think he's going to have a big impact for the Roosters.
But yeah, so that was a great game. I mean, it would have been hard for those Storm players going through their team. I don't think they had, other than Justin Olam, who didn't even play much of the game. No one there was really someone. Christian Welsh and Ramus Smith, but no one else in their team was really someone who's played first grade, probably for more than 10 games. Like there were some people who filled in last year and just did their job because of all the injuries. But to consider they played against, like Sam Walker came on, Brandon Smith, Matt Lodge, Egan Butcher, Victor Radley, Terrell May played some games last year, Jackson Paulo. Obviously, like I said before, Jake Turpin was in there. Fletcher Baker was also in there. So to consider they played against guys who have played first grade for so much of their career. It was great to see the Storm only lose by 8 points in the end. Faraz, what was your thoughts on the game, though?
Yeah, look, The Roosters have turned it on in this one, for no doubt, and I think they'll probably be top 4. I'm not going to say easy because I did that last year and they missed it by quite a mile, to be honest. But for the Roosters in this game, I thought that once they got on a roll, they started scoring points freely. I think Turpin was really good around the halves. He had some good impact. Then you got the likes of Crichton coming on, Radley coming on, and that just proved too good for the Storm. But in the end, to the Storm's credit, I think it was Roosters 26-8 or something, and they managed to pull back the score and make it respectable. And that just shows that even if the Storm are off, they're not going to be off by much as well, in the scorecard. So Melbourne are just that team where, if they can stay injury-free and keep healthy, that they've got good future young talents there. I think Howard and all that were good. And I think that fullback, I don't know what his name is, but you guys just mentioned him. I think his running game impressed me. But, yeah, look, the Roosters won, and hopefully they have a good year for their sake.
Yeah, definitely. Bulldogs versus Warriors. We'll try and go through these next few a bit quicker. I didn't watch much of this game, so I'm just going to say Bulldogs did look pretty good, though. Reid Marnie looks really good for his new team, and I'm looking forward to seeing Josh Reynolds back in the Bulldogs jersey. I'm hoping he plays some NRL games this season. I would love to see it. But what did you boys make of that game?
Yeah, look, it's only a trial, but wow, the Bulldogs, they look a much stronger side to what we've seen in the last few years. And I've got to say, Reid Marnie with his dummy half services, he's making a huge impact. I think he set up that ball. I don't know who scored it, but I think it was some center. He just got the ball away close to the line, just the pass to find his mark center and score. I think that was really impressive. I think, can you just imagine you've got an edge of Josh Adokar and William Kikau. If Reid Marnie just keeps providing those services and you get those balls to kick out on the edge to Adokar, that's a deadly edge. That's good stopping that. I'd hate to be a defender. But look, with the Bulldogs, it is just a trial match, but this one does give them a lot of confidence because they haven't got a lot of wins in the last few seasons. So winning this is important. And the Raiders found a few starts. So look, Bulldogs, I think they're going to have a much better year. Whether they make the top 8 is remains to be seen. But from what I've seen this trial, their attack looks so much better.
Yeah, it did look pretty well. Sorry, go ahead, Lockie.
For me, I think Reid Marnie was key. I think Bulldogs have to keep Flanagan as their halfback. I do see potential of Flanagan. He's just got to get the right system around him. For the Raiders, they need to invest in Brad Schneider. They need to keep him at the club.
Yeah.
It was good to see Jared Croker back out there. And a quick shout out to my homeboy who made his debut, you would say, with his main game in the main game. Lachlan Lewis off the bench. It was good to see him. He only played a couple of minutes, but good to see him get a little run in that Green Machine jersey and hopefully he gets out there for his actual NRL debut this year.
Yeah. Congratulations to Lachlan's mate. Now, we'll move on to the next game very quickly. The next game was Cowboys versus Dolphins. It was a draw. I think it was 22, or I could be wrong.
Fuck the Cowboys.
Yeah, go ahead, Lockie. You start us off on this one.
If you can't beat the Dolphins, shows you shit.
Okay.
All seriousness, I think they did play well. I thought Hampton was good for them. But for the Dolphins, their best player was Ray Stone. That man's defense, I haven't seen a better technique in a long time. He was chopping blokes in half, left, right, and center. I think going off that, the Dolphins are not a team to slack on this year. I mean, I understand it was the Cowboys junior side, but they were still missing their stars as well. And
yeah,
I don't know. I would have them from 8 to 12, to be honest.
I think that's a bit high up.
Brad,
you go ahead. Let us know.
11th at best. Not even 11th, 12th. There's just too many sides out there right now. But
What's
for
your
me,
first?
irrespective of what's going to happen with the Dolphins, I think this game really showed that if they can play with a lot of potential, get the team combinations right, they're not a team to be taken lightly. I think Isaiah Katoa will be good for them in the future at number 7. If Wayne Bennett can get the best out of these blokes, like is Arco, Milford, Hammer, they've got some really good spine players there. Like I know their forwards look a bit weak, but they still got some experience there. That they have a team that can probably avoid the bottom fight and work towards it. But heading into this game, I know the Cowboys rested a lot of their players, but the Dolphins also rested a lot of their players as well. And some of these Cowboys players have had experience in the NRL compared to the Dolphins. So look, cracking game. Unlucky for the guy that missed a conversion at the end, but probably you would say game of the week for the trials. But it was a cracking game.
Yeah, it was a very good game. I just want to say I was very impressed. There was only 2 games I watched to completion, which was, from start to end, which was the Broncos versus Titans game and Dolphins versus Cowboys. I was curious to see how the Dolphins would go. They did have quite a few of their starters, obviously Jermaine Isako, Ewan Aitken, Anthony Milford, Jared Wallace. SASA will probably be in there. Ray Stone will be there. A few of their players came off the bench, like Valence Tuware. But I think it was a good game. I was very impressed by the Cowboys halfback. I think it's Thomas Duffy. Yeah. His not only his goal kicking, his ability to set up tries and stuff was absolutely insane. Also, the Cowboys fullback Tom Chester, he had a good game as well.
Chester was good.
Derby was good. I'll tell you what, for that first try, it didn't look like he was going to have the legs to get there. But he had a great game. Ended up racking up nearly 300 run meters. Robert Derby on that Cowboys, I think it was right wing. So yeah, it was a really fun game to watch. Very entertaining. There was one more Cowboys player. There was I forgot his name. Oh, it'll come back to me. It might have actually been, 2 people: Kyle Schneider, the hooker, and Riley Price. They both look like they're going to be guns. That Cowboys hooker looked very good, very comfortable in the role, and Riley Price, I think he was playing lock. He looks tough. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a debut this year for the Cowboys. But that does it for that game. I think it was a very entertaining game, and it was the first draw of 2. The other one being the other Queensland Derby. Derby. Now, Broncos versus Titans ended in a draw. Broncos were up 24-6 at halftime. Faraz, start us off on this one.
Well, look, as everyone knows, we're all Broncos fans here, so we're going to probably be a bit biased here. Look, the boys played really well in the first half with their full-strength team on the field. And I think when Reece Walsh left the field, I think the Broncos missed a lot of chunk at the back with attack. I think Mam looked a bit lost at times. I'm still not sure who the 9 is. Like, honestly, I would probably take Tyson Smithy, but he's still not even guaranteed a top 30 roster spot. He's on a training trial deal, so you probably have to go with Billy or Corey Pake. So, but look, some positives for the Broncos a lot. Reece Walsh in his unofficial debut, I think he impressed me a lot. There was a few questionable plays, but hey, it's a trial. You got to work yourself out and build combinations. I think Walsh in the tackle looked great. Staggs was a bit limited with minutes. Same with Herbie as well. I think Martin's a power played really well for like his time slot. The stats, well, he ran over 100 meters. Yeah, and you can see that he's brought that experience with him in the middle. I think something that really impressed me as well is Tristan Saylor, and I'd love for him to get a top 30 spot. And I think it's good that you got depth like players like Jordan Pereira, you got Saylor. It's just a tap onto the blokes like Walsh and like Staggs and all that. Like, you got to perform or you're not going to be guaranteed your jersey. But look, am I fussed about them drawing? No. Would I prefer them to win? Yes. But also for the Titans, I think Jojo Fafita was a big standout. I think that Kikini guy off the bench was good as well. I think Fafita, I know a lot of people bash David Fafita, but look, I think for his stats, he played really well. He just got to get more involved, and all these tackle breaks will start coming. But look, it was a classic game from both sides. Look, and both sides still have a lot of questions to answer.
Yeah, thank you, Faraz. Lachlan, what did you make of the game?
I thought it was good. I wouldn't take much from it. I think Tristan Saylor, we definitely have to get him a top 30 spot. I would start Pakes and 14 Walters. As soon as Pakes was on hooker with Mam looked a different man to when Walters came on. It looked like Walters took all of his workload and he got lost.
Can I just add one thing, boys? For the top 30 roster squad, we've only got one more spot left, and that's between probably Tyson, Smoothie, and Sailor. So who would you pick if you had to choose
Sailor.
one?
I'll probably give it to
Sailor.
Sailor.
I would go Smoothie. And my reasoning is
The thing is, if you think about it, you could use Sailor as a 14. I know the kids are back. I know the kid is a back, but I can see us using him like a Cody Walker, a Cody Nicaragua, not Cody Walker.
That's fair, but
Yeah.
wouldn't you also want a specialist super in Titan Smoothie? That's a genuine number 9.
But we've already got like how many nines that we can use?
They're not like genuine number 9s. We don't know when
We got Blake Moses in there as well.
Hey, Jai Bishop, how you going, mate? Thanks for typing in
That's
the
true,
chat.
but we don't know like when's going to debut. I feel like Tyson Smoothie showed enough to play first round at least, but that's just me.
Yeah, I was actually about to just ask that question before Faraz actually said it. I was going to say, who are you giving that top 30 spot to? You never know. With the news that's come out recently, we could be losing a player in our top 30 from this year, which would leave 2 spots in the top 30 open. So we won't go into that one too much though, just in case.
Yeah.
Innocent until proven guilty. So, but I mean, if there is 2 spots open, it has to be Smoothie and Sailor. You'd think. But yeah, it was good to see Smoothie and Sailor go so well in the trials, and I'm looking forward to seeing who they give the top 30 spot to. I think it should be Sailor, but if it's Smoothie, I won't be too annoyed about it. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
And special
that'll wrap up.
Coming up with that play for the try for Pereira. You can't tell me that was a fluke. That was perfectly executed.
No, it wasn't a fluke. You can see by the way he kicked it, he was aiming for that. But that'll wrap up the last week's results. We'll quickly do rapid fire tips very quickly because we've also got just a few injury reports we want to talk about. So rapid fire, we'll just say who we think's going to win. Knights versus Eels for us.
We'll go Newcastle upset.
Okay. Lockie?
Eels.
I'm going to go the Eels. Their juniors looked good.
I've got Moses and Dylan Baggs there as well. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Most teams are actually playing their full-strength teams this week. So it'll be good to watch Roosters versus Sea Eagles for us.
Roosters.
Roosters.
We're all going to Roosters there. Dragons versus Rabbitohs.
Charity Shield. This is the one I'm actually looking forward to the most, other than the Broncos one, but I'm going to go the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I'm going Rabbits.
Yeah, Rabbitohs, easy. This is the one I'm looking forward to the most, other than Broncos game. Club Challenge, Panthers versus St. Helens, boys. I'm going to go Panthers. For us?
Just a question. Is there extra time in, like, preseason?
I don't think so. I think it just ends in a draw.
There will be in Club Challenge, but not in the other ones.
I'm going to go bold one. I'm going to go Panthers by 1 in Golden Point.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go Panthers as well, being at their home ground.
I'm going to go Panthers domination, honestly. Panthers are 14. Broncos versus Cowboys.
Broncos.
Cowboys.
I want to
tip.
You guys are fucking
idiots, are you?
I want to tip us, but they're full strength. They played full last season. And we don't even have.
I couldn't give a shit if it's a trial or a grand final. I'm not tipping the Cowboys. Like, what the fuck?
Adam Reynolds isn't playing, mate. I don't see us winning.
Well, I mean, I'm already backing us to win round 2 anyways against the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly.
The bloody Bundy Bear could be playing halfback. I'll still pick the Broncos.
Warriors or Storm, boys?
Storm.
I'm gonna go Warriors upset here. Tigers versus Raiders.
Let's go Tigers upset here.
Raiders. I like Green Machine. So my boy plays there. So Green Machine is my second team.
Raiders would probably be the team I'd go for if Broncos win in the comp, but I'm going to go Tigers here, the upset. I reckon it is an upset, actually. Bulldogs versus Sharks. What do you boys reckon?
Sharks, because I also like them. I don't have jerseys for them like Faraz. I just like them as a team.
Yeah. I'm going to go the Doggies.
I think the Dogs.
Dolphins versus Titans. Ooh. What are we going here, boys?
Dolphins. Faraz,
Yeah,
hello.
Fraz,
Oh,
would you like
sorry,
to stop staring at the camera?
I'm
Now?
gonna go Gold Coast 30+. Yeah.
Yeah, Gold Coast. I'm gonna go with. I don't want to. I want to. I'm not sure. I hate them both already.
Can I be honest? I actually secretly don't hate the Dolphins. Like,
It's not so secret anymore.
I don't even.
I don't know why. I don't know why people have a problem with
Have you
them.
boys? Have you boys actually generally started to have any hate feelings towards them? They haven't even played a game yet.
Yes. My breaking point was one time I was busking and some guy had a Bronco sticker on the back of his car, and I said, "Up the Broncos, mate." And he walked past me and said, "I'll go for Dolphins now." I've hated them ever since.
Did you hit him with a guitar or something?
I was thinking about it genuinely. Before we go to the news and stuff, Indigenous All Stars defeated the Māori All Stars 28-24. We'll have a quick touch up on this, not too long. What did you boys make of the All Stars game? Lockie, we'll start with you.
2 words, Sel and Cobbo.
Must have been coached well.
Yes.
Fraz, what about you?
Yeah, look, it was a funny old game. Selwyn Cobbo, I mean, he dropped 6 balls, but he scored 3 tries. But I think Hines looked really good in attack. I think he's going to take his... If he plays like that all season, I reckon Hines is going to go next level. Honestly, bro.
I'll also say to touch on as well, credit to Jordan Ricky. I thought he probably had his best All-Stars game he's ever played.
I reckon that's one of the best games he's ever played.
Yeah.
Ever.
And the touching moment of scoring a try and pointing to his wrist for his mate, Liam Hampson. That one
Beautiful.
definitely...
What did you guys make of Preston Ricky?
Looks like a gun.
Is he related to Jordan?
Yeah, his younger brother.
Well, they both
Surely
got
he's
good
not.
roots. Yeah, he could be our bloody mascot. Girls love us.
He's at Penrith.
Is he?
Oh, yeah, he
Yes.
played in their New South Wales Cup team, didn't he?
Oh, he does too. Bastard. Penrith stealing from us like always. No. But no, that'll do us for that side of thing. Oh, actually, Faraz, you already had to say. Injury reports and news. Very quickly, I just want to touch up on this because there's been so many injuries and news reports over the last few sort of days. I'm only going to list the ones that I think have been quite recent. Xavier Savage out for 8 weeks with a fractured jaw. Boys, what do you make of that?
Oh, that's unfortunate for the Raiders. I think he's going to be a huge part of that season's success. So,
They
Savage
just
going
let
down.
Nickel Cookstad go as well.
Yeah, exactly. So who are they going to play there now is the question. But
Rapana.
can Brash start to
Probably.
play fullback?
No, he can't. I reckon they'll play Rapana there and they'll go Harley Smith-Shields on the other wing.
Yeah,
James Shaw.
that's going to sort of downfall their attacking play, but that's a huge loss for the Raiders.
What about you, Lockie? What did you make of Xavier Savage being injured?
I think they've got the depth there at the Raiders to not worry about. I mean, it's a huge loss for them, but definitely got the players there to back it up.
Yeah. Justin Olam sidelined for 6 weeks with a fractured forearm. I think that means he's back round 4, round 5. What do you boys make of that? Fraz starts off there.
So what was that?
Justin Olam sidelined 6 weeks with a fractured forearm. What did you make of that?
Yeah, and it just gets worse with Ryan Papenhuyzen being ruled out. The Storm, I've just talked about it. Like, if they want to be successful and be top 4, they've got to stay injury health free, and they've already lost 2 big stars. So, yeah, it's not looking ideal for the Storm. But speedy recoveries to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge loss for them. I mean, Justin Long's a pivotal position for them. What Storms that I think we see Jack Howarth play, to be honest. I don't see who else.
Boys, do you reckon with Ryan Pap's injuries, do you think it's going to cost him an Origin potential call-up if he could play those 8 games and get a
6 to 8 weeks. It's a fair chunk of the start of the season, so I think definitely game 1, yes.
Yeah, it's not just 6 or 8 weeks; it's the first 6 or 8 rounds. So
considering
Origins
probably play 14, and then Hines is going to be there.
Yeah. I also don't see no one taking T's jersey anyway. So
yeah, I think, and there's not too much years between Teddy and Pat. Oh, actually, there might be. I think Pat might be 23 or 24. Teddy, I think, is 28 or 29 now. So maybe I reckon when Teddy retires, it'll be either Turbo Pap to take over there. But obviously, we'll continue with that. Storm confirmed Pappenhausen will miss the opening 6 or 8 rounds. Who plays fullback for the Storm for you boys?
Nick Meaney for me.
Yeah, I was going to say Nick Meaney. I think he's already played a few games there as well last year. It wasn't too bad, but yeah.
The only other choice really is playing Nick Meaney at 6 like they did last year before finals, and playing Cameron Munster at 1. But I think Nick Meaney has to play fullback with that. Reece Walsh in doubt for round 1 with a facial fracture. What do you boys reckon? Would you risk playing him round 1?
Well,
in Penrith?
See, the thing is for me is that I think if he's 90% to go, I think you should at least play him round 1 to get some minutes. But if he's 70, 80, he's sort of limbering. I think that let him go for round 1 and let him rest up for round 2, because it's only round 1 and it's the Panthers. So yeah, you want Walsh to be fully fit, because he has to be killing for the Broncos to achieve success this year.
I mean, this weekend I see if Cobbo's playing fullback, I'd say just keep Cobbo fullback for round 1. Put Jesse Arthur on the wing.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. Jesse Arthur, sorry. We know he can do a job at wing or centre.
If Herbie wants to impress you boys, would you consider Herbie at fullback for round 1? Maybe Cobb out the centres?
No.
Chopping and changing too much, I don't think is
Herbie at fullback doesn't excite me.
He doesn't pass.
My thought would be, just because I don't want chopping and changing around for the first game and the second game of the season, I'd keep Cobbo on the wing. I'd upgrade Tristan Saylor to top 30 because we have that one spot left. I'd play Tristan Saylor at fullback.
But why? But would you upgrade Tristan Saylor just to play 1 or 2 games to start the season?
Yeah, and that's against the Panthers in round 1.
I think I would have been upgrading Tristan Saylor's contract to top 30 anyway.
What other position can Tristan Saylor play other than fullback?
He can play. Well, he plays fullback. He plays 6 or 7, I believe. He can play wing
6.
or centre.
He play a bit of he can play wing
and a bit of hooker. So he's very versatile. So that's why I'd be upgrading him to a top 30 spot. But yeah, so that I think I'd give him the fullback position for however long Walsh needs out. And then, for instance, if Mann or Reynolds gets injured in the season, he can always come in and do the job. But, I mean, obviously, Madden's probably the next man up for that. But,
right.
I mean, yeah, you never know. But we'll go to this. Jeremiah Nanai signs 4-year extension with the Cowboys, which will see him remain there until the end of 2027. And it's apparently on a $900,000 per year contract.
Way too much.
I think I love Nanai. I reckon he's going to be great, but nearly $1 million a year for a second rower.
Look,
Nanai
played like that. Look, Jeremiah Nanai is the future. He played like that cash the way he's on right now, but he's only had 1 good season in his career. We don't know if he's going to back that up. I think he's going to back it. I think he's going to have a great year.
But are we going to see a Dave Fafita 2.0 here or what?
I don't think so. I think he's at a better system. I don't think they're going to be stupid to let experienced halfback go as well. But I think as well with Nana is that I think he's just got accustomed to a good half pairing right now. He's at home, and I just feel like he deserved the money as well at the same time. I just feel it's a bit too high, but I think he's going to keep that form up. But I think
for me, tops it's $800K for him. That's tops. That's max.
I'd probably give him like 750, 800 around roughly.
I would give him top 700.
Yeah,
I think
he's had 1 good season, and he's how old is he? 20?
21, 20. But it doesn't matter. He's young. But to be fair, he did have a blind in Origins.
Yeah, he played good in Origin too. So I'm not sure. I saw a post on I'm paying max I'm paying for him is $800K, not $1 over that. And that's complete maximum. That's just to make sure he doesn't walk. I would have been offering him $750K. See what.
Do you boys think that the Cowboys are the next power horse club in the comp right now with their young talent and the hard spring and everything?
We'll see when the ladder predictions roll around where I have them. But yeah. Anyway, more extension news. The Sharks extend coach Craig Fitzgibbon until yet again the end of 2027. What's your thoughts on this? Is it a good move by the Sharks?
I'm still on the fence here, but look, I feel like the Sharks are going to be a top 4, top 6 consistent side over the next years. But to 2027, we don't know what's going to happen from there to then. Like, Sharks could easily miss the top 8 once again, like they did like last season from 2021. So I would probably get into 2025, but it's a bit too risky. But the Sharks seem to be heading to the right position with a great squad. But hey, we've seen crazy things happen before.
Lachlan, what's your thoughts?
I'm never a fan of long contracts for coaches. I don't believe in them. I think the max you should be giving a coach is 3 years, and that's if you're certain. Like if you're a Trent Robinson, Craig Bellamy, that kind of thing. Even when the Cowboys are talking about giving Todd Payton 4 years, it's too much. Like with a coaching role these days, it changes that quickly and often. You can't be offering someone until 2027. Like two to 3 years.
And another thing is, I'm pretty sure this is Craig Fitzgibbon's first head coach role. Like last year was his first role as head coach, and he's only first year. So pretty much same thing with Nanai, where Nanai only played his rookie season. Craig Fitzgibbon's only really coached his first head coach rookie season. So I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of offering long-term contracts to coaches. I think he was already signed until the end of 2024 or 2023, it might have been. Sorry, playing about the end of this year. I would have offered him until the end of 2025, possibly. But yeah, I don't know. And last but not least, Abby Coruscant has been named the captain of the Tigers. That was new news that just came out now. What do you boys make of that news? Of obviously, Abby Coruscant being named captain. Do you like it, or do you not agree with it? Lachlan,
I have heard with the captaincy, the Tigers boys actually voted for him. So, Tim Sheens has come out and said that he left it open for the players, and he was without a doubt easily the top person who was voted to become captain. I think it's a fair point to go about it because then the boys back him as a captain.
Mm-hmm.
Then the coach is choosing, I don't know, Zane Musgrove, and no one backs him.
Yeah. What about you, Faraz? Do you agree with Abby Coruscant being made captain of the Tigers?
Yeah, I don't know why a lot of Tigers fans are unhappy with about it. I think it's probably after what he said after the grand final night. But look, Abby's there for like how many years now. He's a great leader. I don't know why Tigers fans are disappointed with it, really. I think it's the most sensible choice. Like, I mean, Abby was always my Tigers captain, even before, he got announced. But it is what it is. But I have no doubt he'll do a great job for them.
Yeah. For me, the only other options were maybe John Bateman, which is pretty much the same thing as voting Coruscant. I don't think Clem is the right idea for a captain. Or Adam Dewey, but I think Adam Dewey thinks he's bigger than the club, so I wouldn't vote him. I think Coruscant's the right choice. But that'll just about end us off.
What about the Kevin Walters re-signing thing? What are your thoughts on that situation?
I'm not. I honestly think it's the right choice because there's no other coaches on the market at the moment that I can see doing a better job than him, and he cares more about the club than any of the other coaches would. For me, it's the right choice.
I think it's the right choice for the right reasons, but I can still see a lot of red flags. Like, he's got a contract till 2025, it is, right? And he's got an option where he can leave right before. So, you don't see your Roosters, Panthers, Storms in that situation. But look, I can understand the reasons why they've done it, and they've certainly done a good job. So, they'd have to pay a huge payoff cut with what they did with Seabold. But if the Broncos start poorly, if they start 4 losses and 1 win out of 5, there'll be a lot of noise coming his way.
Yeah, definitely. But I think we should just about wrap it up there. Again, like I said before I pass it over to Lockie, I'm just going to quickly promote our social media at the Final Siren Podcast. This is both for YouTube and Instagram. So make sure you go follow our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers. That would be unreal. But I'll pass it over to Lachlan to end us out.
So that's been round 1 of the preseason challenge. It was a great week of footy. Saw the youngsters on show, but now it's time to see the senior players take the show in week 2. We will be back with a review of that as well. But we also have videos coming up before those games also. So stay tuned. Follow us at Fireside Podcast Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. We will be back with more content. If you want to see when we're going to post or go live, you'll see that all on the Instagram because we've just hit 200 followers, I believe. So it's been Noah, Faraz, myself again. Davos will be back in the next video very hopefully. He's just away at the moment. But enjoy your night, lads, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.